important, you know, even though the people around me may not think I am, or they may not be treating me like I am, guess what? I'm important. Because by virtue of the fact that I'm here and I'm made in the image of my God and Savior, guess what? I'm important. It's who I am. And our children need to hear that because they're going to hear that they're not. And when they come across those people or those things or those individuals or those conditions that tries to tell them that they're not worthy, they're going to hear your voice. Mama said, Daddy said, I am 62. How old am I? 61. I'm 61. I kept moving it up. I'm 61, and I still will tell people because I have a voice. And where did I get that voice? I got that voice from my daddy. Not that he physically gave me the voice, but he told me something when I was little. He says, you have a voice, and I expect you to use it. And I held on to that. And I use it. And I tell people, when they try to shut me down or say, you don't need to be talking right now, I say, not Crystal Campbell, because I'm Cornelius Campbell's daughter. And he told me that I had a voice, and I'm supposed to use it. Spencer, would you click for me? You should go to the next one. You just click. Positive affirmations that we want to do. Click again, please. What we want to do. So how are we going to do that? What are we going to do? Well, I want to share a little bit about some women. Now, again, I love Jesus. That's where these women are coming from. But these could have been any women, okay? Jochebed. Jochebed had a beautiful baby boy. And right around the time that she had that baby boy, the king at the time said, we're going to kill all the baby boys. So she wasn't going to have to have anybody kill her baby, right? After you done toiled with that baby for 9 months, and you felt it moving around inside, right? And you had some heartburn, and you ate them pickles, and you had a couple of pains, okay? You're not going to let anybody come and what? Mess with your baby. So she puts the baby out there. The daughter of Pharaoh sees the baby, takes the baby, but guess what? God always has a ram in the bush. Miriam was watching. And then Miriam goes up to her. I don't know if back during that time you were allowed to talk to the daughter of Pharaoh or not, you know, especially after she got out of the water and stuff. But anywho, Miriam goes and says, well, do you want me to find somebody who can take care of the baby? Because obviously the baby was Hebrew, right? And that probably wouldn't go over very well. So she does, and guess who she gets? Guess who she gets? Guess who she gets? The baby mama. And for 5 years, Jochebed has the opportunity to instill in Moses positive affirmations. She has the 5 years to give him what she knew about her Creator. She had 5 years to instill in him positively. You had 4 years, almost 5 years of what? Instilling in your baby. This isn't all. This isn't over. This is just the beginning. And you've got more time to what? Put those positive affirmations. Hannah prayed, cried, pouted out, thought she was drunk by Eli in the church. You need to not do that in the church. She wasn't drunk. She was desperately praying for a baby. And not only did she get that one baby, she didn't get 6 more. But anywho, here she is, and she says, okay, Father, if you give me a baby, I'm going to give him back to you. She makes a declaration. And then on top of that, she did do it, but she got to have her baby for 5 years. Because back then, they didn't let babies go until they finished weaning. Weaning took about 5 years. I don't know about y'all, but I don't think I would have been doing breastfeeding until they were 5. But back then, that was part of the culture. I don't think so. You better put that cup. And drink. All right. But anywho, Hannah had 5 years again to instill into Samuel, and Samuel was the best, most famous prophet that we know about. All right. Because she had that opportunity to give him positive affirmation. And then, of course, Mary. Y'all know Mary? Jesus' mom. She had an awesome responsibility, didn't she? You know, can you imagine being the mother of Jesus? She had better tell some good things, right? She had better be saying some positive comments about who Jesus is going to be. And it reminds me of that time when he took off, and they couldn't find him. Y'all remember that? And they wanted to know, where was he? Because they thought he was with the group, because that's what they do, when they travel and everything. And he wasn't there. And he said, well, didn't you know I would be about my father's business? She didn't say nothing. She just pondered it in her heart. Because, guess what? It could have been, I don't think you can spank Jesus. But she was mad enough to. Because again, she was instilling in him, you might be, but right now, you can't do what you want to do. You've got to do what Mama said. You got to do what Daddy said. You got to do what G-Ma said. And make sure that it happens. You can click for me. So these moms were determined that nothing was going to happen to their babies and that they were going to instill that into their children. So when I thought about all that, I started thinking, what is one thing that we as parents can make sure, in addition to affirmations, these are part of affirmation, what else can we do to make sure that we are setting our children up for success? And the difference between praise and encouragement popped up. There's a difference in praise and encouragement. Praise is okay, but it causes you, if all somebody gives you is praise, then it causes you to do stuff just to get that praise. And that's not where we want our children to be. Because there are going to be people that are going to come by them and say, oh, you're so cute. You just, I like the way you walk. But they don't mean them any good. It's that superficial kind of stuff. You know how we say, when the child has done something well, we say, good job. We just say, good job. What made it a good job? What was it about? What was about it that made it a good job? What do we do that caused it to be a good job? That's not enough. Because somebody else may come by with ulterior motives and say, what? Good job. And then they flock to that person. Does that make sense? So we want to be more of encouragers than we are praisers. Nothing wrong with praising, because there's a time when you do praise. But the praise should not be all we do. We should put the ownership of their behavior on them. And that's what an encourager will do. I encourage you to do certain things. Also, we want our babies to be risk takers. I know you're saying, Mama's sitting there talking about, no. My sister, and I apologize, I do this by telling stories, and I tell stories about family, and they know that. Nothing they can do about it. But my sister was a scaredy cat. She was 5 years younger than me, and when she had my niece, she didn't want her to do anything that she thought was going to hurt her. She couldn't ride a bike. She couldn't, run. And she couldn't jump off the steps that led to the dining room at Mom and Daddy's house. And that little girl, and I knew because I understand children, I'm still one. And I think like they think. And every time she would get up to those steps, I could feel it in her that she really wanted to jump. You know why? Because I wanted to jump too. There were 3 brick steps that led from the kitchen into the dining room. And it had a railing. And she would stand there, and her mama would yell, don't you go down those steps! So one day, my sister went to the bathroom, and my niece was standing there. She was at the steps, and I said, you can do this. I have faith in you. Come on, let me see you do it. And homegirl jumped from that top step down to the bottom. I was there to make sure she was good. And you should have seen the look. I wish I could have captured it. The joy, the excitement. It was just radiating from her. And then I said, do it again for your mama come. So we went back up, and I said, jump again. And she jumped. Now, I don't have any empirical proof. But if she had not done that, I really want to think that if she had not done that she would not have become the woman that she is today. She's 27 years old, and she's living her best life, okay? She goes anywhere she pleases. She's not afraid to travel outside of the country. She's not afraid to go do jobs. She will jump from, and do whatever is exciting for her. She doesn't stop. I'm really believing that she's like that because her great auntie let her jump from them steps. Okay? And I get excited about that because we want children to be risk takers. We don't want them to be daredevils. We don't want them to have the spirit of suicide. But we do want them to take initiative. You do. You want them to try new things. You want them to get out there. And if there's a job opportunity, don't be afraid to do that. If you think you can do it, go for it. And let's see. And make sure that it happens. So we want to make sure, and if you do praise, you can hinder that risk-taking ability. But encouragement aids the child in being empowered and to be themselves. Hit that button because I know y'all getting ready to put a timer on me. Let's go to the next slide. I didn't get these slides for y'all. I did this for me so I would stay on track. So, what's the difference between praise and encouragement? You thought y'all were going to sit there the whole time and not say anything. Well, here's your opportunity to talk back to me. We're going to go through each one of these, and I want you to tell me whether you think it's praise or it's encouragement. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm proud of you. Praise. Why? How do you know? It's what?
I'll tell you why.
It's not telling you why. And then here's the other thing. Look at the first word. I'm proud of you. Well, it has nothing to do with them intrinsically. It's about what I feel or what I see. Look how far you've come. Encouragement. Because we're looking at, you've done this. The focus is on the what? The child. I didn't do it. You did it. Okay? I like what you did. Praise. Because now, mommy likes that, so I'm going to keep doing that. What we don't realize is that what mommy likes is limiting. It's only for that moment. It's not talking about the big picture of what we could like, right? You're such a good boy or a girl. You're such a good girl. What does that mean? Praise or encouragement? That's praise. Meaning that whatever I saw, that constitutes who you are. That means you're good. That's why I have a problem with the young. I do parenting with teenagers that are in prison. Because I want them, because they get out and they have these attitudes about children. I want them to connect with their babies. I want them to understand their babies. Because a lot of them have children, but they're not doing anything with them. And they're thinking, first thing came out of one of the young guys' mouth when I was doing the training was, my child just bad. I said, only because you said it. Because I believe our words are powerful. And if you speak that word, guess what? That's what you're going to get. If you speak a positive word, you're going to get positivity. You speak negative, you're going to get negative. And this falls under that category of, you're a good boy, you're a good girl. Who determines good? Think about it. You figured it out for yourself. Encouragement, that's my favorite one. You figured it out yourself. I love problem solving is what we need to do with the kids. I'm not talking about 2 plus 2 and 4 plus 4 and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about problem solving with life, okay? You figured out what you needed to do, and you did it. I am so proud of you. All smiley faces, I'm going to give you a reward. That's what we say when they come home with A's, or they've done everything right on a worksheet that somebody else made. That has no connection with my brain and intelligence. But I'm going to get a smiley face. I got a smiley face. Now you're going to give me a reward. Big whoop. No, that's praise. It's not going to go any further. I appreciate your help. You want to get them to do something? Because innately, they want to please you. So the encouragement would be, I really appreciate your help. I say this all the time to that boy back there. That's the grandson. And sometimes it gets me something. Sometimes it's like, nothing is 100%, okay? But you're moving in the right direction. I trust your judgment. Ooh, that's a tricky one for an adult to say to a kid. Isn't it? Is that encouragement or praise? Ooh. Who thinks it's encouragement? Raise your hand. Don't be scared. You're right. It is encouragement. It's going to come. I trust your judgment. Now, you can only say that if you put something in there for them to have judgment on that you can trust, right? Because, but at the same time, they do want to what? Do and please you. I have faith in you to learn from your mistakes. Encouragement or praise? Encouragement. I have faith in you, not in me, not in what I have faith in you. I know that whatever I've taught you and whatever we've been through, you can now make the right decision and learn from your mistakes. The best thing kids can have is a mistake. The best thing we can have is a mistake. Because we learn from the mistakes, right? Sometimes you don't know it's a mistake till you do it. Then you realize it's a mistake. Okay, I gotta learn from that. Great, that's what I expected. That's praise. That's praise. And I love you. Oops, I forgot the R. Why you didn't tell me, Spencer? I love you no matter what. That's encouragement. It doesn't matter what happens. And we've lived that. Some of you have probably been those children yourselves, where you weren't always doing everything all together lovely for mom and daddy. Mom and daddy had issues. But guess what? They never stopped their love for you. They still wanted to give you. I just believe. I have this. My son is 43 years old, and I can still see him back in the day. God gave me a vision of him walking through these doors, and he had on a collar, he had the microphone in his hand, and he was singing because he had a rich baritone voice. And he's not singing anything right about now, nothing. And he's not doing anything that he's supposed to be doing with God. I still have that vision. And every time I look at him, I see that vision. And I'll say things to him. Yeah, you're getting on my nerves, but I still love you. But I love you. Kind of thing. And so our affirmations are, and this is not all, but I'm smart, I'm kind, I always do my best. Praise, I got something for you. I'm confident, I'm accepted, I'm a hard worker. I am enough. And that's what we want to say to our baby, that you are enough. You are who you are, and we love you. I think that's it. I think one more, but I think that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Get one more, just in case. Because I think I said something at the end. One more picture. Click the thing, Spencer.
I'm clicking. I'm clicking.
You clicking?
It ain't moving.
It ain't moving. There you go. Oh, you clicked too much. Thank you all. Have a wonderful one. Thank you for all. Let me come and talk to you. I appreciate you. God bless you. And have lots and lots and lots of other graduations. In Jesus' name. Y'all be blessed.
Thank you. Thank you. Crystal.